at your level you will learn only these four. So debt to equity ratio, what do you mean by this? Debt to equity, so debt divided by equity. What do you mean by equity? Equity is only shareholders fund. What is debt? Debt is all the long term borrowings plus long term provision. All the long term borrowings as well as long term provision is called as debt. Long term borrowings means 10% debentures for a long period, 5 years or more. Bank borrowings 5 years or more than 1 year, 12 months. Okay, it's not current, then it is long term. Then long term provision, say for example you want to replace a machinery, you have provided for it, you have created one provision for it, or you know that you're going to start a new project, for that you have provided for it. So long term provision. You know that your employees are getting retired, you need to give some benefits towards them, towards their retirement, you have made some provision for it. So all these things will be coming under long term provisions. Shareholders funds, what do you mean by shareholders funds? See, you have to understand equity or shareholders fund, both means the same. So shareholders fund, it is both equity as well as preference shares. Okay, because share capital includes equity and preference shares, because preference shares are also part of share capital. Then reserves and surplus, you have the reserves and surplus. From where you get the reserves and surplus? It is from the profits. Profits will add up to the share capital or be transferred to the reserves and surplus. So these two includes shareholders fund. I'm sure that you are able to understand. We will analyze this ratio. We will try to understand this. So how, if it is a high ratio, how to analyze? If it is a high ratio, now what is the standard? First of all, the standard is 2:1. Okay, so appropriate ratio, if it is 2:1, what do you mean by 2:1? If 2 is debt, 1 can be the equity. Debt, equity. Now what about the other one, ma'am? Because the one only equity, how will the debt holders will be safe? If you ask, see, the part of it may be financed by equity, the part of it may be financed by asset. Okay, so the standard is 2 by 1. Okay, now if it is a high ratio, what do you mean by high ratio? The, suppose for example, long term borrowings is 5 lakhs, long term provisions is 5 lakhs, short term, I mean shareholders fund is 4 lakhs. Okay, so total debt comes to 5 plus 5 10, and divided by equity shareholders fund is 4. So it is 2.5:1. So it is a high ratio. What does it mean, high ratio? What does the high ratio mean? Enterprise is depending more on borrowings or debts as compared to shareholders fund. See, if you see the top part is so heavy, no, it is 10 lakhs. Now bottom part is only 4 lakhs, which means the enterprise is depending more on borrowings or debts as compared to the shareholders fund. Is it a safe position for the shareholders? Yes, it is a safe position for shareholders, but if you think the other way around, debtors, if is it a safe position for debtors? No, the lenders are at high risk and low safety. Why low safety? Because the shareholders fund are very low, but the debtors, the business is running with the funds of debtors. So uh, the business is running with the funds of debt, that is the long term borrowings and long term provision. So enterprise is depending more on borrowings or debts, so compared to the shareholders fund. So lenders are at high risk and lower safety. Okay, so this is what it means. So low ratio means what? Low ratio means enterprise is depending more on shareholders fund. Say for example, you take this as reverse. If it is a shareholders fund 10 lakhs and 4 lakhs is only debt, the bottom part is heavy but the top part is light. So obviously shareholders, a business runs with the help of shareholders fund. So shareholders will be like, it has to run that way only, because more the debt, more the risk for the business, and the profit, there is also a cost towards it. Okay, so more it is, more it is shareholders fund, the business can grow faster, because there is no need to pay them dividend unless and until you show some profits. If you show some profits also, if you want to deviate the profits to retained earnings, you can do so. What is mean by retained earnings? Retained earnings, when you hold the profits to the business itself without distributing dividend to the equity shareholders or preference shareholders. Preference shareholders, you have to distribute dividend, that is no doubt about that. But if you don't want to distribute to the equity shareholders, it is fine, you can retain the money in the business, but you have to show some growth towards the business. Obviously, if you show some growth, the capitalization of your shares will be high, the market price of the shares will be high. So shareholders will be really very happy if the market price of the shares are going high. Okay, so that is the reason. So enterprise is depending more on shareholders fund as compared to the equity capital. So external debt, so lenders are at low risk and higher safety. So this is what it means. So we will just go through this again one more time, so that you just pause the video, rewind the video, go through it one more time, and before working out the problems. So we will straight go away with the problems. Yeah, so first problem, from the following information compute debt to equity ratio. So long term borrowings is given 4 lakhs, as well as 2 lakhs is the long term provision. Current liability is 1 lakh. Non current asset is 7 lakh 20,000. Current asset is 1 lakh 80,000. So you have these information. Now first write off the formula, debt to equity ratio. What is debt to equity ratio is equal to debt. What debt? Only long term debt, not short term debts, divided by, what is divided by? You need to write shareholders funds. Now what are debts? Now what are debts here? Debt is long term borrowings and long term provisions. 4 lakhs, this is 2 lakhs, totally it is 6 lakhs. Now what is shareholders funds? What is shareholders funds? It is you have total assets here, non current assets as well as current assets. So non current assets, current assets 7 lakh 20, 1 lakh 80. So 7 lakh 20 and 1 lakh 80, you will have total assets. What is the total assets? 2 lakh 15. Total assets is 9 lakhs, less you have the total assets, you want the share capital, shareholders fund, so you need to deduct your long term borrowings, long term provisions, as well as current liability. So long term borrowings is 4 lakhs, long term provisions is 2 lakhs, and current liability is 1 lakh. So totally 9 lakhs minus 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2 lakhs is your equity shareholders fund, equity or shareholders fund 2 lakhs. So I am applying the formula here, 6 lakhs divided by 2 lakhs. Now what is 6 lakhs divided by 2 lakhs? It is 3:1. I'm sure that you are able to get it. See what we have done here. We need to find the shareholders fund. Generally in balance sheet, where you will find shareholders fund, it is, you have the total assets here, total assets. If you deduct all outside liabilities, you will get shareholders funds. That's what we have done. We have got the total assets here minus the long term borrowings and long term provisions, as well as current liabilities. So all the outside liabilities is being deducted. So what you have got is shareholders fund 2 lakhs. Next problem, from the following information calculate debt to equity ratio. You have 10,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each fully paid 1 lakh, 5,000 9% preference shares of rupees 10 each fully paid 50,000, general reserve 45,000, surplus balance in the statement of P&L is 20,000, 10% debentures 75,000, current liabilities is 50,000. Now I've just taken the answer to verify. Okay, so now debt divided by equity. What are debts? What are equity? This is debt, long term debt. Current liability, will it come? It is a short term liability. Debt includes only long term debts. Now this is equity, shareholders fund, equity share capital, yes, preference share capital equity, general reserve also equity, surplus also equity. So you have these 4 items as equity. So what is the formula for, what is the formula? It is debt to equity ratio, that is debt, long term debt. I want all of you to write the formula whenever you are solving question. Shareholders funds. Okay, so debt divided by shareholders funds. What is debt? Debt is only 10% debentures, that is 75,000. Debt is equal to 10% debentures, that is 75,000. What is shareholders funds? Shareholders funds is equity share capital plus preference share capital plus general reserve plus surplus. So 4 things. So what are they? 1 lakh plus 50,000 plus 45,000 plus 20,000. Should you show all these workings in your notes? Yes. When you're solving the exam, when you're solving the problems, you have to show all these workings together. So obviously if you add, what will you get? You will get 2,15,000. 1 lakh, 1 lakh 50, 50, 60, 70. 70 plus 30 is 2 lakhs plus 15 is 2,15,000. Okay, so you got this. So I'm applying the formula. Debt 75,000 divided by shareholders fund 2,15,000. What I will get is 0.34. I will get 34 something I'll get. So I just take it as 0.35 is to 1. I'm sure that you are able to follow just a simple problem. The next problem, if you see, balance sheet has the following amount as at 31st 3 2016. 10% preference share capital 5 lakhs, equity share capital 15 lakhs. Now all these things are equity. We know that it is shareholders fund. Now securities premium reserve, is it equity? Can it be utilized for any other purpose except in section 52 subsection 2? Just recall what I am trying to say. Section 52 subsection 2, for issue of bonus shares, for issue of for writing of preliminary expenses, for writing of discount on issue of debentures, redemption of debentures, preference premium on redemption of debentures. For all these things only securities premium reserve amount will be utilized. So it is not an equity shareholders fund, equity shareholders, or it is not a shareholders funds. It is something, it is kept for something else. So it is not equity. Reserves and surplus is an equity. and you have this long term loans from IDBI. What is this long term loan? It is a debt. It is a long term loan. Okay, this is current assets is a short term, current liabilities short term, it doesn't come here. So investment in other companies, you do not know whether it is investment here or investment, I mean it is a long term investment or a short term investment. Anyways, it is an investment, it is an asset, so obviously it will not come under debt to equity. So it is an asset, we do not know whether it is a long term or a short term, we will assume it to be long term. Okay, so long term asset, so it doesn't come here. Fixed assets cost is given, depreciation return of 14% is given. Calculate ratio indicating the long term as well as the short term solvency, short term financial position of the company. So they are asking, indicate the long term position. Long term means you can show debt to equity. Short term means you can show either quick ratio or current ratio. I will take it as current ratio. You can show quick ratio also, because I have in the question current assets, current liabilities, it will be correct for me to show the current ratio rather going for quick ratio. So you have to be very judgmental towards your question. Okay, what are the information given, accordingly I should choose the ratio correctly. Okay, if I choose quick ratio, what happens is that current asset minus stock, where is stock? There is no stock. Where is prepaid expenses? There is no prepaid expenses. There is no point in doing quick ratio, so I am just taking current ratio. Fine, so we will just solve this problem. So long term financial position is being judged by debt to equity ratio. Debt to equity, don't forget this too. So what is to debt to equity? Long term debt divided by shareholders funds. Now what is long term debts? We'll just go through this long term debts question. What are the long term debts? It's only the long term loans from IDBI, 9%, 30 lakhs. So 30 lakhs is our long term debts. And what are the shareholders fund? 5 lakhs plus 15 lakhs plus 4 lakhs, you get 24 lakhs. So 30 lakhs is debt, 30 lakhs is debt. Equity shareholders fund, I'm not mentioning the what are they, but you mention 5 lakhs plus 15 lakhs plus 4 lakhs. So what is it? 30 lakhs divided by 24 lakhs. What is the ratio? 1.25 is to 1 is the ratio. 1.25 is to 1 is the ratio. Now short term financial position is judged by current ratio, which is current asset by current liability. What is the current asset? It is 12 lakhs given here. Can you see 12 lakhs, as well as current liability 8 lakhs. Fine. So 12 lakhs, 8 lakhs. So I will be getting 1.5 is to 1. So what does it mean? Every 1 rupee of current liability, I am having 1.50 rupee of current asset. Is it a favorable position? If you check the current ratio, 2 is to 1 is the favorable position. Okay, so it is not an unfavorable position. Current assets value to be more increased. It should be more. And if you see the long term financial position, you see that 1.25 is to 1. For every 1 rupee of shareholders fund, there is 1.25 rupees of debt. That is what it means. Is it favorable? We know that the appropriate ratio is again 2 is to 1. Obviously it has to be improved. That is more shareholders fund is not available. Okay, so you need to improve on your shareholders fund, because the debt is more. 30 lakhs is debt, 24 lakhs, though it is not too much, but at least 50-50 you should, if you have, based on the need of the business, it's fine. Or if the business requires also, they have some serious reasons for it, they can go ahead with this. Okay, so this is what it means. So next problem, assume that debt to equity ratio is 2 is to 1. State giving reason whether this ratio will increase or decrease or will have no change in each one of the following cases. Okay, so each case is independently different. So we will just go one by one. So debt equity. So what they say, debt divided by equity 2 is to 1, which means if debt is 2 lakhs, equity is 1 lakh. Just a imaginary figure. You should, in this type of problem, you should have an imaginary figure. So 2 lakhs divided by 1 lakhs is 2 is to 1. So purchase of fixed assets by taking long term loans. Say for example, purchase of fixed assets worth rupees 50,000. I'm taking long term loans. Does it affect my debt? Yes, it will increase my debt. So from 2 lakhs, my debt will become 2 lakhs plus 50,000. Will my equity change? No, 1 lakh. So obviously 2 lakh 50,000 divided by 1 lakh, what will I get? I will get 2.5 is to 1. What is this? It is an increase in the ratio. Previous ratio was 2 is to 1. Now it is 2.5 is to 1. Okay. The next, sale of fixed assets book value is 40,000 at a loss of 5,000. Now sale of fixed assets 40,000 at a loss of 5,000. This loss will decrease my shareholders fund. So shareholders fund will be reduced, decreased by loss. So suppose for example, we are just having debt as 20,000 and shareholders fund as 10,000. Okay, just an imaginary figure. This, after giving effect to this, what happens is that debt will not change. 20,000, it will remain same, but 10,000 will become 5,000 because it reduces your debt. I mean shareholders fund. It reduces your shareholders fund. So 20,000 divided by 5,000, you will get 4 is to 1. Now 4 is to 1 is a it has increased a lot. So obviously you need to take this into account. So sale of the total shareholders fund are decreased by the amount of loss, but total long term debts remains unchanged. Therefore debt to equity ratio will increase. Okay. Then sale of fixed assets book value is 40,000 for 50,000. There is a profit on sale of fixed assets is 10,000. Say for example, your debt is 20,000. Your shareholders fund is 10,000. After the effect of this, what happens is that 20,000 divided by 20,000, because 10,000 plus 10,000, it becomes 20,000. So obviously what happens is 1 is to 1 will be the ratio. Obviously your debt to equity ratio reduces. Are you able to get it? Yes. So issue of new shares of cash. What is issue of new shares of cash? See, when you are issuing shares, cash will increase. Obviously your shareholders funds will get increased. Am I right? Shareholders fund get increased. So when you are having, say for example, 20,000 as your share capital, that is debt, 20,000 as your debt and 10,000 as your shareholders fund. Suppose for example you are issuing 5,000 worth new shares, rupees 5,000 worth new shares. So obviously your shareholders fund will be added with this 5,000, it becomes 15,000. So what is the new ratio? 20,000 divided by 15,000. So 20,000 divided by 15,000 will be 1.333 is to 1. So obviously your ratio has decreased. Your ratio will be decreased. Why? Because there is an increase in the shareholders fund. There is no change in the debt. Okay. So the next one, issue of bonus shares. Now we know that bonus shares are issued without any cash. That is, you need not receive any cash from your employees or shareholders is just a bonus that you are going to give. How it will be compensated? It will be compensated with the help of reserves, any specific reserves or any general reserve, that's the company's decision. So issue of bonus shares, will it affect the debt? The answer is no. Will it affect the shareholders funds? Now you need to be very careful here. Will it affect the shareholders fund? There is long-term debts nor the total shareholders funds are affected, since it is conversion of accumulated profits into share capital. See, you have some accumulated profits worth rupees 10,000. Okay, in your balance sheet liability side you have some accumulated profits. You have equity share capital 10,000. Okay, this is your balance sheet position. Okay, now what you're going to do, you're going to take this accumulated profit, use this profit to issue some bonus shares. So what happens is that your equity share capital from 10,000 it will become 20,000. So the effect of shareholders fund, what is the effect of shareholders fund? Is it an increase? No, because shareholders fund already increased, already included 10,000 plus 10,000. Now this is erased and it is included in your share capital. That's it. So it is not a change in the shareholders fund. The shareholders fund remains same. So if the debt is, say for example, it's just an independent case, I'm just giving you an example. If debt is 40,000, your shareholders fund is 20,000. So your ratio is 2:1. There is no change. There is no change. I'm repeating one more time. Issue of bonus shares. Bonus shares is when you have some extra profits, when you have too much of reserves, the board of directors will give, the board of directors may announce a bonus shares to its existing shareholders, to its employees or so and so. So where it will be financed from, it may be financed from some reserves, or it may be financed from accumulated profits. Now you need to understand this. Shareholders funds, shareholders funds means you have equity shares, preference shares plus reserves and surplus, accumulated profits. So all these components are termed as shareholders funds. So what they are trying to say is, we are just shifting this 10,000 to this. There is no change in the shareholders fund. It's just the same. So the ratio also will not change. So there is no effect here.